This conference will now be recorded.
I guess you guys started doing the hands-on, Pavan, Raghu, and not Srilakshmi, Swaroop, and Swati. Others, are you started doing the hands-on? I want to ask the people who are attending mainframe technology training, who doesn't know mainframe earlier. I'm asking them, are you guys are doing the hands-on? Are you started? Pavan, Raghu, unmute yourself. Please try to respond.
Yes, I started. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I
I'm
started. Okay. Yeah, so you have to do the hands-on tip. You have to practice, okay, and watch the videos which I am sharing, which I already shared on TSOISPF. Watch it, okay. You try to complete all of them before you come to the next session, right? So that is the one I want to ask. Right now, today we are going to see how to create sequential file, how to create a sequential file. Okay, then we will see how to insert the data, and we will discuss commands also. Okay, we will discuss TSO commands as well as in today's session. Few commands we are going to discuss. So I'll do logging. I connected to the mainframe server. How to do logon? R type TSO, hit the enter. Okay. The server is down now. 1 minute. Yeah. So what? Yeah, there is an issue with the server side team. I messaged them. No, right. So I want to tell you some guidelines in terms of utilizing the mainframe ready. Okay. What I noticed, some people started using mainframe ID and started doing JCLs. Okay, so I don't restrict anything. Okay, so I know that there are some people who are having experience or knowledge on mainframe. You guys are doing hands-on JCL or other stuff. Okay, okay, you can do it. That is not a problem. But okay, but the thing is, you should don't make the system in trouble. Don't make don't create a problem in system, which means that okay, making a infinite loop. Okay, it is a training server, so we don't have high end capacity configuration in this training server. It is a lightweight training server. You can do basics of the concept whatever we are discussing, right? Right, so don't experiment whatever we are discussing there. You can experiment it, but which we are not discussing, uh, which we are not at all important, somewhere you saw it and you try to implement them, don't do like that. Okay, don't implement infinite related programs. That is the one. The second one, I noticed that you have to create a data sets with the mainframe id, mfid. Give mfid dot, you can give your name. Okay, you can give your name. So example, today let's say Pawan is using ID. Assume that Venkat A is using. Then he has to say Venkat A is high level qualifier should be there, and Pawan dot you can give second A B anything you can give. So but first qualifier should be mainframe ID. The second qualifier you keep your name so that everyone name will become unique. Okay, so there is no conflicting in that also. So don't go with as you like, go with this pattern. This is the best approach. If you don't if you don't create the data set with this pattern, anytime admin can delete your data sets without notice, warning or request. So they have a right to delete all the data sets. Even I request admin also delete it because that is not guided by me. Okay, is it clear? So that is our responsibility to follow the guidelines. So now they responded. Okay. There are few times you might not able to see the screen. You can take a screenshot and ping me in the group. Okay. So that is the one I want to tell you. The second one, let's say, some people assume that there are four or five resources, five users in Venkat A group. In that case, you guys can discuss technical stuff in this group. Okay, if you stuck somewhere, you can take help from others. Okay, that is the advantage of having the group for five people, right? So you can ping the screenshot of the error. If I don't respond due to some my busy work, others will respond. Okay, so that you can continue your work. Is it clear? So do all of them team. Yeah, let's go back to our content. Yeah, so I'll type TSO, enter. I will use Venkat C. Okay, the ID I'm using Venkat C. Enter, and I enter the password. So you can see 6:56. I guess 3 hours back the ID got used. Type ISPF, enter. Now, Pawan, which option I need to use to create a data set? From here, which option I have to use to create a data set, Pawan? Pawan, you have to unmute yourself, you have to answer, okay? So which option guys we use to create the data set? Here, which option I need to select? So we need to do 3.
3.4.
Utilities.
Yes.
First we have to select 3. So 3 is on ISPF primary option menu. So type 3, hit the enter, and we have to select 2 to allocate a data set. Okay, type 2 on command line, hit the enter. Okay, hit the enter. Now, so we need to select A, go on mute Dharani. I'm getting echo background noise. Still I'm getting from some guys. Suresh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, go on mute.
Yes, I'm hearing. Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. So A, you have to select A. A is allocate in new data set. Okay, then give the data set name within single quotes. If you don't give single quotes, what happens? We already discussed the guidelines of the data set name rules for your giving. Okay, so I will give Venkat C because I am using Venkat C is the user ID. I will use as a standard B8, that is a batch 8, and I will give PS1. PS1 is a data set name. Okay, so team, we need to enter the dataset name. Okay, valid dataset name. If you don't enter valid dataset name, top right side, you will get invalid DSN, invalid qualifier, all such errors you will get top right side in this occurrence. Now, while you are creating a data set, you should give volume USR001. Okay, this is the volume serial. This volume serial given by admin. Okay, so you guys have to use, please use always this volume irrespective of which ID you are using, user 001 for during files creation. Okay, this is mandatory. Okay, if you create a data set on another volume, admin can delete anytime the data set. So all the volumes, okay, all the data set should use on this volume. Is it clear, team? This is the rule given by admin, not mainframe rule. It is given by the server admin. Okay, please use always this volume user 001. This is already created by mainframe admin, this training server. So hit the enter, and you can see there are parameters. What we call, once I hit the enter, I can see the data set name. So allocate a new data set name. Allocate a new data set name. This is the data set. So now what you want to store in this file, why you are creating this data set, what is the purpose, okay, what is the purpose of creating the data set. So you should know it, right? You should know it. So now I will give a requirement. Okay, so I want to store customer details, 10 customer details. I want to store 10 customer details. So first customer employee number, let's say each customer details, okay, employee number, employee name, employee address, employee phone number. 5 is the record in the length of the employee number. Phone number, name is a 20, address is a 20, phone number is so 10. Now if I want to store one data, so what happens, team? If you say Excel sheet, I'll take an Excel sheet. So now you see that I have a employee number, the length is 5. Okay, employee name, length is 20. Employee address 20 length. Employee phone number 10 is the length. So now if you see this one, E001, okay, E001, Venkat is the name, address Hyderabad. Okay, so now, and the phone number, I will give my contact number 45085. So basically, this is called one record. Okay, in mainframe terminology, this is called one record. Okay, this is called one record. So this is called field. Okay, the one employee number is a field. This is the second field, third field, fourth field. So one record is nothing but collection of fields. Collection of fields we call as a record. Okay, record. So this is one record. So now I want to store second two employee details, third, okay, like this. So I want to store total 10 student details, student customer details. Sorry. I'll say 10 employee details. We'll say employee only. 10 employee details I want to store. Now to store one employee, how many bytes is required? How many bytes are required to store one employee record? How many bytes are required? So you have to do sum of all these fields, right? So 20, 20, 40, 40 plus 10, 50 plus 5, 55. So basically I need 55 bytes to store one customer, one employee record. Okay. So if I want to store 10 records, 10 into 55. So the answer is 550 bytes. How many bytes is required? So 550 bytes required. So it is basically 5 bytes, right? 5 bytes, 20 bytes. Each byte is equivalent to one character. So each byte, one character is equal to 1 byte. Is it clear, guys? Okay. So now you want to store 550 characters. Okay, means you need 10 records. 10 records. The now this is called record structure. Okay. So now the sum is called. We have something called record length. Record length is equivalent to one record size. Okay, one record length is equivalent to means 5 20 30 sorry 5 20 25 45 55. So 55 will become record length. So one record is equivalent to record length. Okay, is it clear, guys? This is all about record length. Now to store 10 records, how much I need? 550 bytes. 550 bytes or characters are required. Any queries so far? Any queries, team? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So that is all about it. Now let's go back to this one. So on this screen, the first one is a record. Okay, record format. We will give at this moment fixed block because I want to store in this file all record length should be the same. Okay, so this record length size and the second record length size, third record length size, and fourth record length size. I need to have all record length size is the same 55. This is 55, this is 55, and this is a 55. So that is the reason I kept 55. 55 is record length. So means in each row how many bytes you can store, that will decide record length. Okay, in each row, this is called row. As I said, this is called row, record row, or OW, row. In each row, how many characters you want to store. Don't think about the spaces. We don't give the spaces. We have a continuation. After 5 bytes, automatically the name will start. After name, 20 bytes, address will start. After address, the phone number starts. Right? So now record length is nothing but how many characters you want to store in one record, one row. That is called record length. That is all about it. Next, so I want to group, okay, let's say I want to group all these 5 records in one structure. Okay, so I want to make it a one block. So what I do, so I will use thick border. So this is one block. In one block, how many records are there now? 4. Why we are creating a block, that I'll talk about it. Okay, block 4 records. You can have 10 records in a block. So this is called block, right? Now I can have another block. Okay, I can have another block. In that block, I can have 4 records. Okay, so in each block, how many records you want to store? That is called block size. Let's say if I give 110, okay, how many records I can store in each block? 110 divided by 50. Okay, example, how many records will store in block as per these values, as per the following values. So record length is 50, block size 100. So you know how the calculation number of records in block, in each block, 100 divided by, the formula is block size divided by record length. If you see the formula, 100 divided by 50, so the answer is 2. So 2 records in each block. So that is a 1. Now I'll copy this, I'll paste it. Now if I give 150, how many records in each block will be stored, right? So 150 divided by 50, it will be 3 records. So who is using this ID team? Okay, somebody using this ID. It could be this. Okay, somebody created dot VSAM. One minute team. I know that I am doing something else. Somebody created a file my VSAM dot. But so I'll tell you why it is happening. Okay, I'm getting, so I got a feedback. Okay, parallel I'm checking my WhatsApp also when I got the message. So they are telling that your data set, okay, a high level qualifier should be your mainframe ID. That is what they are saying. Okay, fine, leave it. So now let's come back to the notepad. Now how many records will store in a, for this? So 150 block size divided by 50. So you will get answer 3. So 3 records. Now how many, I'll give formula. Now, so in this scenario team, here is invalid block size. Invalid block size. Why it is invalid block size team? 152 is divided by 50. When you are dividing, you should get a even number. When it should be dividable. Okay, so 152 divided by 50. So you will get a remainder. Ideally, you should not get remainder other than 0. So if I say that, okay, let's say 50, 152. So 3, 1, okay, 53s are 150 and I will get 150. What is the remainder value now? 2, right? So the quotient can be any value. Remainder always should be 0. Such a way you should give block size. Block size is always multiple of record length. So in this scenario, it is invalid size. Block size should always multiple of record length. Okay, block size should always multiple of record length. Is it clear team? Okay, now I will give you this one. I will give you this time 600. 600. Okay, or 6,000. If I do 6,000, 6,000 divided by 50. How much value I will getting? What is the quotient value now I will get here? Just you use calculator and you can decide. Okay, 6,000 divided by 50. So now you are getting 120. So 120 records you are going to store in each block, right? So that is one. Now I will change the pattern. I will give record length is 60. Now with block size either 60, okay, it can be 60, 120 or 180 or 240 or 300 or 360 or 420 or 480, 540 or 600. So like this, okay, okay, it should be multiple of record length. So the block size always multiple of your record length. So record length is based on your number of characters in each character. That is as per your business requirement. But the block size you will be giving, you can give 60, no problem. Whatever record length is there, you can give as it is, no issues, no concern. But it should be multiple of record length, and it, when I divide block size divided by record length, I should get the remainder 0, not anything else apart from that. Okay, any queries?
Yes, Venkat. So our record length is 55, no, Venkat, in Excel sheet.
Yeah, so if I say 55,
So we need
if
to
I
give 550, 55,
yeah, if I give
110.
55, yeah, so 555 or 110, 165, yeah, plus add plus 55 plus 55. So you can give 550 plus
Okay.
605 and so on.
Venkat,
Okay,
what is the maximum we can give it actually for the
you
block
can
size?
give huge number. Not sure how much exactly you can give. The okay, but we will give usually we'll give okay record length into multiple of 10. So it will be a block size. Means if the record length is 40, if I give 40, we will give block size and a 400 like this. Okay. Not usually there is a the way we give in projects. We need to see what is the maximum value we can give in that. But there is a range.
Okay, thank you.
Cannot leave the block size unlimited. Not sure. I did not try. You can, if you leave it, it will take, I guess, default value. Okay. So if you give it,
I think,
it will take a default.
Venkat, I think we can
Yeah.
give block size equal to 0 and it will take default value.
Okay. If you even if you don't give, it will take default values.
Right.
If I'm not wrong. Okay. Now I'll give a because I will give Venkat C dot D8 dot file one. Now, so we are done so far. Record length, that is value. We discussed the block size. So you notice that there is a more plus. When you give more plus, that indicates that there are few more parameters in the bottom. So press F8. Now, so we discussed record length, block size. So these two are talking about in each row how many characters should be there and how do you create a block. In a block, how many records should be there? That is a one. Correct. Now data set name type. Okay. So the other parameter data set name type. So it should be a blank. It should be blank when you want to create a PS file. So it should be okay. The value should be a PDS. Okay. If you want to create PDS. Okay, so it should be a blank, as simple as it should be a blank. Okay, it should be a dataset name type should be a blank, and dataset name type PDS if you want to create a PDS. So there are few more options. Apart from that, you can give a library, HFS, PDS, large, you can give a blank. Blank means PS file. Okay, PDS you can give it. So in other case, in we use library. Okay, in few scenarios, we will give library. So that is all about dataset name type. Okay, that is all about dataset name type. So we discussed the four parameters: what is record format, what is record length, and block size. I am not done with the record format. Don't worry, team. We are yet to discuss this record format. That eventually I'll explain later. Right now, I will, because I want to create a sequential file. Okay, so I want to create a sequential file. So I can mention blank. So I can mention a blank. Right now, let's go back to the top. So storage class, management class not required. Volume serial. See, earlier I have given, okay, while F3 to go back. Here you should give USR001. Let's say you did not give here. Hit the enter. It will take default value. Change from default value to user 001. Now, what is if I don't use this volume? What happens? Correct? Yes, admin can delete your dataset anytime. As simple as no warning, no request, no information. Straight away they will delete your dataset if your dataset is not on this volume. What is this volume? We'll see it in a while. But you should give everyone, Venkat A, Venkat B, Venkat C, Venkat D, all users should use user 001 only. Okay, next. So what is volume serial team? In mainframe, right, as I said, dash D is a storage device. Okay, dash D, direct access storage, is a device, storage device. It's a big storage device. So that storage device will be divided into volumes. Okay, it will be divided into volumes. So let me show one picture related to volume. Volume in mainframe. Can you see? The volume parameter is used to specify the name of the dash D volume on which dataset is stored or to be stored. So this is the definition of the above volume. I will show you the image. Yeah, so now can you see disk volume? Okay, let's say dash D. This is also I can show. Yeah, so I guess this makes sense. Now, if you take this example team, okay, if you take this one, now you say that this is the entire dash D. Okay, so this is the entire dash D. This is entire dash D. So the dash D is going to divide into volumes. Volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 4, 6. Okay. So if you take an example team, school. In a school, it is a school, but we have a multiple uh, classes, right? So we have something called school. In that we have a classes. Why we have a classes? If I want to see how many students attended today, present today in 10th class or 10th standard, okay, plus 2, right? So I can walk in to the respective class. I no need to go to each class. Is it the first? Is it the 10th class? Is a plus two class? Is it a plus two class? I no need to ask. Okay, so we have a 10 classrooms. You take an example. There is the classroom one, classroom two, three, four. Okay, in each room, these are all rooms. Okay, so this is to say that class one, class two, class three, class four, class five, class six. Now I want to, okay, if I don't have these names, okay, if I don't have these names and categorization, I want to find how many students present today in class 5. So we, if you don't know heading and all, we should go here. Hey, is it the class 5? They will say no. Then if you go to here, hey, is it class 5? See, class 2 people will say, students will say that no, no sir. Then I have to go to other class. Hey, this is a class 5. No. Or this class teacher can go directly here. Okay, is it class 5? They will say yes. Then now, so what happens now? There is no heading, there is no arrow mark or indicator. Okay, which is the first class, which is the second class, which is the third class. If there is no categorization, if there is no proper differences are not there, then it is a difficult for us to track, right? So who are no which class students are sitting where, it's very difficult, right? So for easy tracking purpose, okay, and for to take care of the rest of the process, what they did, the entire dash D storage device, they divide into volumes. They divide into volumes. So volumes, if I say volume 1, these volumes will be created by mainframe admin. Okay, so the entire storage device is divided into volumes. These devices volumes are created by the admin, not by any one of us. Okay, the mainframe admin will do it. So they will give as per their guidelines and rules and best practices. Okay, any queries? So the for us, okay, for all our user IDs, admin given user 001. Okay, so now all 4 users data sets should exist on this volume. If something goes wrong in anyhow, they will reset user 001 or they do something on this user 001. They no need to touch other volumes, other users data sets, right? So that is all about volume serial. Okay, I explained a lot of theory, but you just go to refer our manual, which I shared TSO refresher. Okay, then you will get a clarity on actual definition. Next one, device uh, device type. Okay, so this parameter decides on which volume you want to store the data set. So tape or dash D. Okay, so tape or dash D, whichever the one. Okay, for dash D you will give, they will give X. They might say that, okay, are you using tape, then use X. Are you using dash D, then use Y. They might say something like that. Okay, so they might say something like that. Device type. So if you don't give device type, it will take default value. Okay, it will take default value. That is all about volume serial and device type. We should know these parameters. Next. So by the way, for our requirement, okay, what is the requirement? Yeah, any queries?
Oh, Venkat, the tape also something same, right? Like dash T, how you explain the tape. What's the
Not
difference
sure.
between the tape?
The tape is a world storage device. The how the data will be stored in the volume in the tape, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, okay.
I guess tape also looks same. It seems
Okay.
okay. Yeah, it seems yeah. There will be a different, but not sure how volume in volume it will be stored because the dash T is the latest one, right? So I know the one which they are using dash T.
Okay.
Tape is the, I think Venkat, tape is the actual tape, like whatever you see the real tape, right? The one,
Yeah,
the video tape. I think it's the
yeah,
same,
video
I
tape.
guess.
Yes, yes. So
The
if you
XMPP
are,
display.
yeah, okay, if you are born in 80s, 75, 80s, before 1992, you would have seen tapes, okay, movie or tapes. There's something like this, okay. This I guess this is like that. May not exactly. See this mainframe tape, how it is stored. Getting my point? Yeah. Okay, right. Now you tell me this one. Okay, how many bytes are required to store one employee? 55. But if I want to store 10 records, okay, I want to store 10 employee details. So how many bytes required? 550. So now I will give bytes. I will give bytes 10, 550. I'll give 0. So what does mean team? So total, I'm going to allocate 550 bytes for this data set on volume. So this is all about based on this volume, this based on the see example. These two are talking about how much GB. Okay, movie. You take a movie size 1 GB, 3 GB, or 1.5 GB, correct? So based on your data, that based on the movie length, the space is going to increase or decrease, correct? Same. Okay. Now bytes 550. What does mean? We are allocating 550 bytes or tracks or kilobytes or megabytes because we have given bytes. So 550 bytes is going to allocate for this data set on storage device, the physical. Now in this 550 you can store only one record, you can store two records, you can store three records, doesn't matter, okay, but maximum this many characters only you can store in this particular file. How many characters you can store? 550 characters you can store in this particular sequential file. How can you say it is a sequential file? Directory block is 0. Directory block is 0. Then I did not give dataset name type as well as. So these two tells as it is a PS file. Yeah. Any queries? Okay. I'll repeat again. So how much storage you want for how much space is required for this particular file? So that is going to give, you can give KB. So if you give KB, you're going to allocate 550 kilobytes space, physical space for this particular file and storage device. But we don't want, right? So give simple less size bytes. How much exactly you need? You can give like that, bytes. How many bytes? 550. Secondary quantity, I'll talk about that eventually later. Then directory block. So directory block is a parameter. If you are trying to create a sequential file, use 0. If you are creating a directory block, okay, so it should be okay for PS file. So you can see the definition now. 0 for sequential file. Apart from 0, what is there? Only you have to allow only it will allow positive value, right? So apart from 0, what is there? 1, 2, any positive number. Okay, so if you give anything greater than 0, then for PDS, okay, so you can give indicates PDS 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 PDS. Okay, any queries?
Venkat, please repeat it again. How to find the PS file?
Now, okay, while you are creating, okay, finding that I'll talk about later after creation. Now, directory block, if you give 0 and data set name is a blank, it will create a sequential file. So you see that directory block, you should give 0 for sequential data set. And you should keep data set name blank. Okay, that is the right combination. Is it clear, guys? So, as a conclusion, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah, what are the parameters we discussed? Volume, unit type. You should remember this very well. You should remember, otherwise you don't understand HCL also. Space, okay, units, space type, like kilobytes, gigabytes, MB, or we have something called block, called packs, cylinders, and so on. So then primary quantity, okay, primary quantity, secondary quantity, secondary quantity, and directory block. This will be either 0 or greater than 0. Okay, and record format, we are yet to discuss more about it. Record format, fixed block, we can do fixed variable block, hue unformatted, VBA, something it is there. Okay, these are all record formats, possible values. Then we have something called record length. In each row, how many characters you want to store? That is a record length parameter, block size, okay, and organization type. So there are possible values also given here. Is it clear? Now,
Venkat, I have
once
one
you
query,
enter,
Venkat.
Hello.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
For this blocks and track cylinders, will it have any specific values like you're saying bytes, one word equal to one
Yeah, I'll talk about that. Okay,
block track?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you now. Okay, now you asked the question. 1024 bytes equal to 1 KB. Correct? 1024 kilobytes, 100 kilobyte is equivalent to, yes, 1024 kilobytes is equivalent to how much? 1 MB.
1 MB.
MB. Correct? So now one track is equivalent to how many bytes? Now one track is equal to how many bytes? That is depends on the is depends on storage device. Okay, we have something called a 3720 storage device. This, okay, divisions are there, but still I'll give you the answer for your question. Uh, one track. So now you see over here. Okay, yeah. So here is the answer. One cylinder. One cylinder is equivalent to 15 tracks. One track is equivalent to 120, 192 kV, or this is many bytes. So if you go here, now you see that okay, if you give 33009 here they have given 3380J and 850 cylinders, okay, on track and volume. So one track is equivalent to 48 kb, So you see that. Okay, so then given here 192 kb here. Okay, so one cylinder is equivalent to 15 racks. This is correct. Okay, one cylinder is equivalent to 15 racks is coming properly, no problem. Like this, let's go back. We have any manual? You can see. So yeah, one cylinder is equivalent to 15 tracks. Now one track is equivalent to how much? You can see this. Yeah. So can you see? Okay, for 330, 4,47,476 bytes per track. According to this device, we will take this IBM manual rather than that. The device, we are using the device 3380, 476 bytes is per track, 15 tracks per cylinder. Okay, if you are using geometry device, okay, 56,664 bytes per track, 15 tracks per cylinder. So the cylinder is fixed, but tracks bytes are changing for tracks. Okay, any queries?
The device which you
All
are seeing
clear?
is the volumes, right?
Sorry?
The device in the sense the volumes, the dashed is right, that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
The device. Oh, okay.
yeah. That is the volume.
Okay.
Okay, right. Now you got the clarity. Once you enter the details, press enter button. You can see top right side, data set allocated. What is that? Data set is allocated. Very good, nice. The file got created. Nice. Now I will do logout. Okay, I will do logout. Flex. So when you get this screen, you type 2. Okay, so 2. When you this one I did not get last 2 days. That is the reason I did not. But today I am explaining you. So give 2, process option give 2, so that it will delete temporary data set. 2 and type log off. So you have to do log off properly. Okay, and enter. So you can see Venkat C logged off TS. Now I created, assume that the file got created 10 days back or 1 week back, sometime, right? So yes, it will be there, nothing to worry about it. So type TSO, enter the ID, Venkat C, password, I enter the password. So type ISPF. Now you don't need to do logout, by the way, guys. Okay, just for you to tell some, to give some experience for that purpose only. Now my question to you: how we check the created file is there or not? How to check the created file is there or not? Which option we use it?
3.4.
3.4.
Yeah. So we need to type 3, enter. So here today we discussed 4. 4 is to see the information of the file or to see the file information or to list out the files. Now, I forgot the name, okay, the full name. I can give Venkat C star and enter. It will list out all the data sets which are starting with Venkat C. Now you see that there is something called Venkat C 1, 2, 3, 4. So guys, you need to delete the files which are created by you. Don't touch the other files which are created by someone or system datasets. You are not supposed to do that. So please only refer my dataset, but don't delete it. Okay. So you refer your dataset, you refer somebody dataset, no problem, but don't modify their programs, don't modify their data, don't delete their datasets. Just open it in a browse mode. So next, yeah, so I entered, right? So now you can see the files. I'll press F3. Now I know why I need to see all other users. I want to see only my datasets. I have a rule, right? Okay, all my datasets, second qualifier is B8, enter. So now I can focus, I can view only the datasets which I created, which are now working. Okay, right. So now if I type okay, you type you can see the file attributes. This is the file we created. You see that organization is a PS, record format is fixed block, and okay, what device, then record length, block size, and this you can ignore it. Then you see volume serial, device type, it took 3390 by default. Any queries, team? Okay, press F3 to go back to the previous screen. Press F3, press F3. So this is how we can create the sequential file, team. And we almost spent 40 minutes only on parameters, if you notice. So yeah, so we discussed all the parameters because these parameters are very crucial for the JCL as well as. If you don't understand, please watch it my video again. If you did not understand, please refer YouTube, articles, blogs, manuals about each parameter. You'll get more clarity. Okay, let me stop the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.